Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some bad financial decisions together. This is for entertainment purposes only, so if you're entertained, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Someone said that I sounded tired and or sick in a comment, and then I think they deleted it, but I would like to address that. And the answer is yes. And so this is going to be more of a story time video as I explain what happened yesterday and today. But yesterday was Easter Sunday, and well, the lambs are old enough to be out in the big pasture. But because my sister and her kids were on spring vacation, we kept them in the yard for a week longer. But because my sister and her kids left on Easter Sunday morning, I took my lambs down to the big pasture, and we walked around for a bit. I made sure that they wouldn't get too bullied, and then I left them in the pasture, and yes, they are pretty distressed about that. But then I came back inside, and I did the things I love about Misty video. And then I spent the rest of the day after lunch until 8 p.m. outside doing yard work. And as a process of that, my dad taught me how to use his riding lawnmower that he owns. And I was doing pretty well. And I don't know if you all have ridden a lawnmower before, but there's actually a lot of different levers and things and different pedals. Like the backwards and the forwards pedal are different, and the brake is actually on the other side of the vehicle. So you actually have to use both feet. And if you want to go reverse, you have to push down a yellow button as you're backing up, or else it will stall out, because that's a safety feature for the mower, and you have to turn it's mowing on and off with a switch. Anyway, it's a little complicated. I mean, it's not that complicated. It's like 5 levers and 3 pedals, but when you don't have the muscle memory and you're learning, I'm learning, okay? So I did it, and finally, and my dad was supervising, making sure that I didn't injure myself or whatever. But then he was like, why don't you get that patch of grass that's near your trailer? And I went to go do it, and I realized I needed to back up. And so I pushed the yellow button with my left hand, and I went to back up, but instead I put my foot on the going forward pedal, and we are centimeters away from me saying, hey y'all, on Sunday, Easter Sunday, I put a big hole in my trailer with big heavy machinery. And I'm so glad that is not the story I'm going to tell you. It is, I almost put a big hole in my trailer with heavy machinery, but we stopped it in time. So, but I was still cleaning up the yard and weeding, and just, I was outside all day. So when I went to go make my video last night, I actually fell asleep a couple times while I was making the video, and I was like, I probably sound like I'm drugged. So I woke up early in the morning. I did the video again. So that's why I sounded tired, because I actually woke up because I heard the lambs bleeding. And this is a picture of the lambs today. The lambs are, well, the big pasture where all the other sheep are, I share a fence with it, so they're just on the other side of the fence. And my parents actually have a pull ladder so that they can get in and out of the pasture without having to go all the way down, 3 miles to the gate. So they've been hanging out under my parents' pool ladder in the big pasture. But there is a water bin on the other side of the pasture. But my lambs have been staying up here. And I wanted to go out this morning and give them. So I didn't realize that they hadn't gone down until last night. And because they drink an entire bottle, I was like, okay, well, we'll get that done this morning because you can't, it's hot and can't have them out there without water. But then I was in a meeting at work from 9:30 in the morning until 2:30 p.m. So I did finally go out there, and they do have water now, and they drink for a long time. So we'll just make sure that we are on top of that now. But hopefully soon, during the day at least, they'll start going with the other sheep and lambs and start making overtures of friendship and not just hanging out on the fence, making me feel guilty. And they really do need to stop chewing on the electric fence because it's shocking. I have the gadget now that turns off the electric fence, so I can actually feed them from the fence. It's just that like the first day, it had been the first time I had used it and I turned it off, but it was still hot, so I was feeding them, and then I just like kept getting shocked. It was funny, but now I know better how to turn it off and on. But they do need to stop chewing on the electric fence, really. So, and just to like hammer home how tired I am, my dog escaped today, but he pedantically points out that he's not really escaping if I just left the gate open. And what happened was I'm trying to return to normalcy in my household, and I walked all 4 dogs, and then I went to go bring my boy cat in because I got them as kittens, and he's decided that he wants to be an outdoor cat now. But in the evening, after, like, I put both of my dogs in the side yard, and then I bring them into the house for the night. And I did that, but he was being a jerk about it. So I left the gate open, but then I forgot about it. And then I went to go put my dogs back in their regular yard. And I saw that the gate was open at the same time they saw the gate was open. So it was a race to the gate. And one of them made it through, and the other one did not make it through. But thankfully, and there are Pyrenees mixes. So if you know, you know, but this breed, if they're known for wandering, and it's just difficult to get them back. But I have trained them, or they trained me. We trained each other that when he escapes, he just runs to the truck, and I let him in the truck, and then we go for a car ride. So, I had been parked by my parents' house because reasons, but he ran all the way to my parents' house and then sniffed at my parents' dog and then just went to the truck and begged to go inside. So we went for a car ride today, which is fine. So why is this called MSTU time, and why is it 9 minutes into this and I'm now just getting to my trades? Because I'm tired. So what happened today? It's been a long time since I've done anything super weird to my portfolio, and I figured today is a perfect day to do weird things to my portfolio. I don't know what you're talking about. So I had a $12.50 put for MSTU, and it was put like all the way in September. And I was looking at it, and in my head, it made sense that I'll just buy and close it. It was like $600 to close it, so like half the price of just owning the shares. But I can sell if I can sell puts I was going to cannibalize the thing because MSTU is only at like $5 right now or something like that, in the $5 range. Yeah, it's $5.90 right now. So I wanted to do like two $6 puts, or $5.50 put and a $4 put. Like I wanted to make it different contracts and just be able to sell the puts again instead of having to wait several months for it to be back in a range where I can sell it forward again. And also, like, $12 is really, really in the money for a put at this stage. And so, and if you win at your MSTU puts, it should only be like 5 months until you get your complete ROI anyway. So it made sense to me. What I wound up doing was I got fed up with Ulti finally. So we no longer have Ulti in our portfolio. I used that to cover the margin that was left over after getting, because like I got basically nothing for my premiums today when I rolled everything over. But yeah, so I used Ulti to pay back the margin. So I have $0 of margin now. And then I wound up just doing another put on MSTU that was the same amount of money as it was around the same amount of money that I was using with Ulti. So I figured Ulti is doing okay, but at this point I'm getting more premiums from MSTU, and while it's still worth $5, I may as well put a $5 put on MSTU and get that 200+% implied volatility and a better chance of getting more ROI quicker. So I have a few more contracts of MSTU puts now, is what I'm saying. And I messed up my buffer again. See, I say I want to clear up my buffer, but then, or like get my margin buffer to be more, but then I do things like this and I just reset everything. So, probably not the best move because we're heading into earnings season, and like 6 out of the 7, Mag 7, have their earnings call within the next 2 weeks. So it's going to be fun. That's what I'm saying. And while I'm rambling and a mess, I would like to complain just in general. It is something I did, and it's not your fault, but TLTW, I have spent months telling you my opinion that TLTW is kind of trash, that no one needs to own it because it doesn't do what you want it to when you're thinking about hedging. But then I was going over Goldie, and I'm just trying to find ways to stabilize my portfolio because, like, while cash is a position, if I wanted to take money out for like to pay a bill or something, it would come out of my cash and it wouldn't be margin, so I would actually have less buying power. So that's also a complicated thing. But basically, I want to have zero cash so that if I take out money, it is margin so that I can pay back the margin. If it's less than $1,000, I don't get charged interest for that margin anyways. So, and that was back when I was using my portfolio to pay my credit cards off more accelerated. So, anyways, TLTW with whatever cash, at least, the 25%, whatever. So, like days after I finally got these 22 shares of TLTW, now there's a bunch of news articles about how people are talking about moving away from the US dollar as the reserve currency for these countries and debasing the dollar. And I'm like, are you even kidding me? Couldn't have waited a full week. Couldn't have waited 2 months of me feeling like happy that I finally did something close to a hedge and close to a stabilization. So I just feel like the timing of that is pretty ironic. So what are we going to do? We are going to keep these 22 shares. I don't believe that the US dollar is going away. Most of these ETFs are, in fact, holding treasuries, so we're pretty messed up anyway. And hopefully, this is just a scare and that we don't have that much to worry about. But I think I will cap myself at like 100 shares or like $1,000 in TLTW. And then I wound up doing the GLDM, which is the mini shares of gold. And the only reason I wanted to be in TLDW is because Goldie is still 100% maintenance because it's new. So there's that. But GLDM is basically the same thing as GLD, which is a spot gold ETF, but it's the minified version. It's like QQQM, so it's cheaper expense ratio wise than QQQ. So I should find the leverage version of gold, but I do just want to have like, I got paid $65.08 in dividends or distributions tonight, so I would like to put that $65 somewhere. A portion of this will be going to XDTE or 5E, and then a portion of it to Misty, and then a portion of it to gold. So we got that going for us, which is nice. So I was hoping that on Sunday I could have finished the development work that I was working on, but I did do that yard work so all day, and I was exhausted, and I'm still tired now. But what I am working on, and I'm going to show you, this is not on Yield Night yet, but if you go to the investment amount, we can now say, so this is for the latest distribution. So if I have $200 that I was planning on spending this distribution, then for Ulti, because it pays weekly, you would have $2.94 this week. And then if you do the calculations, it would be about $12.73 a month. And then annually you would get $152.77 from this $200 per year. And then it's the same with the Fridays and then the every 4 weeks. So this is not monthly. So this $15.65 is equivalent to $3.91 weekly, $16.96 monthly, and $203.50 annually. And the reason why I have those here is just to make it easier to compare stocks that pay on different time periods. Anyways, I have to, so I'm going to show you, but if I choose like 3 months ago, what I wanted to do is say like, you would have gotten $2.94 3 months ago, and if you had reinvested it, you would have this amount. So right now they are the same amount of money because something is broken, but as soon as that is fixed and I have double checked the math, then this will get published hopefully by early next week. Who knows? But yeah, I'm hopeful, and yeah. Anyways, so for Financial Philharmonics, yesterday I did, is it FOMO? Or actually it was on Saturday, I didn't do one on Sunday. Anyways, this has been described by someone as their top 3 favorite song that I have published on Financial Philharmonics. So I do recommend that you watch that. And then Best Used Truck is a country song, and I feel kind of attacked whenever I think about my new truck. So that's what inspired that. So anyways, have a good night. I'm finishing this at 10 p.m. and so that gives me a couple of hours earlier than usual going to bed. So hopefully tomorrow I can go over some kind of a new fund or something, and I will talk to you all later. Bye. Oh, I did not ask a question. What are your plays for the next 2 weeks? Have you done anything, gotten to any new positions? And what are your thoughts on TLTW as like a safe fund to be in? And I will talk to you all later. Bye.